Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, and let me tell you about one of my favorite companies, Top Septic. If you need a new
Don't let do-it-yourself become do-it-to-yourself. This is Rick's House, the home improvement show.
Hey y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show on the road. And let me tell you about my friends at Knoxville Salvage and Old City Kitchens. Joel Piper and the team there have been friends of this program for a long time, and they want to be your friend. Friends, they have got the best cabinets, the best products. You say, Rick, is it seconds? No, everything's first quality. They do have some seconds if you want to get a deal, but not on kitchens and not on about everything they have in the store. So trust me, they're part of our team. They want to be part of your team. And in this environment where building materials are going through the roof, they're going to have the best prices on the best products in Knoxville or anywhere in the surrounding area. Call them today. See them online. KnoxvilleSalvage.com, OldCityKitchens.com. A Rick's House favorite.
Hey y'all, this is Rick Allen, and let me tell you about one of my favorite companies, Top Septic. If you need a new drain field, or maybe you're having a problem with your existing drain field, or maybe the septic tank just needs to be pumped, they are the folks that can handle it for you. They know what they're doing. They're an American-owned company run by a veteran who wants to give you the type of service that you're expecting. Top Septic. Call them today, 865-599-1690. 865-599-1690. Permachink Systems, protecting wood for a long, long time. Not only protecting it, but beautifying it, helping it when it's decayed, working with log home people, and also working with homeowners. They have a store on Prosser Road in Knoxville at 1605 Prosser Road. It's 800-548-3554, or a store in Sevierville, 1357 Dolly Parton Parkway, 865-774-3307. 865-774-3307. Let me tell you what you're going to learn when you get there. Things I didn't know about. How about the Woodsman line of smooth log caulk? The other day I was looking for something that matched wood trim. I only had two choices. Not with Permachink. Pine, honey, tan, cedar tone, brown, and gray. E-wood, epoxy wood putty. Putty that really works. Putty that will harden and become just like the wood itself, maybe even better. If you're missing sections of your windowsills or frames or furniture or any wood structure, this is the product for you. But maybe it's something smaller. How about epoxy wood paste? Contact PCS today. Call Permachink Systems today. Toll free 800-548-3554, or at the Sevierville store, 865-774-3307, and find out how to make wood better. Hey y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show. Let me tell you about our newest sponsor, GFL. That's Green for Life. If you're looking for that dumpster or that roll-off or that piece of equipment that's going to get that debris away from your job site, or just keep things handy around and clean around that big business that you have, GFL wants to be your partner. They want to service you, and they want to take care of you. Locations in Knoxville and Morristown, and you can call them today at 865-475-7777, 865-475-7777. Dean Kings joins me today to tell us about a special offer for Rick's House listeners. Dean.
Yeah, Rick, if they mention that they've heard about us on your show or any kind of thing affiliated with your show, we're going to waive our delivery fee for any roll-off box.
And how much is that,
That's
brother?
a $75 savings.
$75 savings right off the bat. So if you're looking for that dumpster or that open top roll-off, GFL is the company that's got them for you. They want to take care of you, they want to service you, and they do a great job for us. GFL, call them today, 865-475-7777, and mention that you heard them on Rick's House.
Don't let do-it-yourself become do-it-to-yourself. This is Rick's House, the home improvement show.
Now we do. Okay. Lord, it's been crazy this morning. I appreciate y'all sticking with me while we get that done. I had a meeting yesterday, and I had to change my audio around to do that. And when I did, I ain't going to tell a lie. Amy and I got started watching movies last night. Good morning, Miss Carolyn. Always good to hear from you. I hope everything's going well. And let me know about that project that we've been talking about. Make sure that's going the way that it should be. So I had to change things up yesterday a little bit. And because of that, I mean, can you tell me if I'm coming through on this? I need your help here this morning. You just get on there. Okay. All right. So the long and the short of it is that I really needed to. There we go. That's better. I had to change a bunch of stuff around, and when I did that, it got me all out of whack. But then last night we got in, and we had to go. We had that Friday, you have to make the Walmart run, and they've got a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I placed an order for pickup. You hear me? Okay. Good. Okay. I am just going. All right. So anyway, got me all out of whack. I apologize. But now I am back in whack. Is that like back in black when you're back in whack? So anyway, we had to make the Walmart run. We had to do that. And so we got that. We got that did. And then we had to go back and make sure that we'd picked up the groceries and done all that stuff. And then we had to go. I mean, we just had a bunch of stuff to do. And so we got home and made tacos. It's a little distorted. Made tacos and got all that situated. And then we got started, we were streaming looking for movies. And then we got started. We got on these true story movies. And boy, I tell you what, we found some good ones. And they're based on true stories. And it just, we got involved in that. And I've doggone Amy's, not been feeling well. So they got her jacked up on steroids and antibiotics and a Z pack and a B pack and a D pack. I don't know what all kinds of packs it is. But usually she's in bed early. I finally shoot her off to the bedroom at 1 o'clock. I said, Lord, even when we was dating, you couldn't stay up till 1. You'd have to take a nap about 9. But we had the best time just doing that. And so this morning, then I was revved up and I couldn't go to sleep. So I got 3 hours. But I can function on 3 hours. So that's good. Man, we got a lot to talk about today. So we just had a really good day. It's beautiful here today. I intended to move. I've got to move the television. And so for those of y'all who have never seen the inside of our trailer, and I'm going to see if I can just show you this. If I pull this out and turn it around, you can see there's our television. There's the outside window. And that is where our children, AKA the pets, want to sit up in the window and do their thing. Now, that being said, that overlooks the yard, the backyard, which is absolutely gorgeous in this park. I mean, it's one of the prettiest yards I've ever seen. I mean, it's really, really nice. So it overlooks that. And I was going to do that last night, but I just couldn't do it. So I'm going to try to get that done today so we can get that situated and dealt with. But anyway, so just a lot of stuff doing. And then when I got up this morning, I got up early. Like I said, I got 3 hours. But you know what? I feel good. Feel real good. Enjoyed that time. Sometimes you just got to let everything go and just get out there and do your thing. And so that's what we did. We just got out there and done our thing. And so it was a good time. And I enjoyed it. We got lots to talk about today. I don't know why
I think it's my lot in life to be challenged by power devices. I really do. I do. I think it's my lot in life to be challenged by them because my computer's not charging for some reason. So that's good. But we got enough to make it happen anyway. So that being said, let's get on to talking about home improvement and living on the road RVing and doing all those kinds of things. And boy, that is bright. Let me put that down. That's blinding us. Now that's better. That's one of the things about RVs, and that's one of the things we've been looking at. You know, I've given the thought, and Amy and I've talked about, you know, going ahead and tinting our outside windows. There's also a bunch of things that you can put on the outside windows that will help them to block the heat that comes through that single glass. We can do that. Too loud? Just tell me.
Turn it so you don't show my chair.
Well, everybody likes to see you. Oh. How about that?
I have my nightgown.
The gal in charge has her nightgown on. All right. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to start over. Let's just start over. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Exactly what we're going to do. Let's get a little Rick's House going this morning and start it with this. Hang on, youngins.
Waking up between you and mama every Saturday morning. Lord, it must be a big old bed. You're listening to Rick's House.
Saturday morning to you. There we go. Sometimes you just got to kick it back up a notch and start her over. Oh, yeah. All right, welcome into Rick's House. Live on the road with Rick's House. Good Saturday morning to you. I've finally got it going in the right direction. We appreciate you being part of what we do each and every Saturday morning. There we go. Sometimes you just got to start her over and let her run. That's what we did this morning. Glad to have you back on the program. Thank you so much for being part of what we do. And got it up and running and as it should be. So... all right, now let's jump back into it. So we had a bunch of stuff going on yesterday. We're running all over the country, making all that happen, doing all that kind of stuff. Walmart runs and had to go to Heb Pharmacy and get that done. And Heb is a cool store, y'all. It's in Texas. It's kind of like the Walmart Texas. We got that going on. That's good. And I got a lot to talk to y'all about today. And I'm excited about that. That's a little loud, huh? Got my glasses out and now ready. Several things to do today. One of the things that I've talked to you guys a lot about is the black tank. And last week I told y'all, and I guess it's probably been 2 weeks ago now, Amy shared all the different things that are available out there for black tanks and all that kind of stuff. And some of the most popular ones, we've dealt with clogs, we've dealt with grease, that's been posted. But one of the products, and Walmart here has started carrying this product, which I'm glad to see because it's one of my favorites. And we're going to reach out to them. Amy's been doing a great job posting the pictures. Miss Carolyn said she was happy to see them. I'm happy to get them out there. And she's doing a phenomenal job getting that done for us and making it happen. So I appreciate that. And it's just important that we get that done. We have got so much to show y'all about where we've been and what we've been doing that it's nuts. It's really just a lot for y'all to see. And I'm so excited that she's doing that and getting that out there. It's huge. And I appreciate it. And so we are doing what we do and enjoying it. And so I appreciate the hard work that she's got going on doing that as well. So that being said, back to the program as it is. One of the products that I need, had to make a plumbing repair this week. With that clog, had to cut the pipe out, do all that. But one of the things I noticed was the residual amount of grease and soap scum and all that kind of stuff in it. You got to turn it down a little. Oh, I don't know where it is. So that being Mayday, Red Ryder. My goodness, it's been something this morning. But you know what? You just got to keep stepping and put one foot in front of the other one. There we go. I kept telling Amy to turn it down, and I'm the one that had it up there. This is a product I want to talk to you about. This is unique. 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 Great product. One that we recommend. They have about 5 or 6 different ones. This is called Clean It. Let's see if y'all can see that. There we go. Clean It is their product for, and I'm just going to read this because I can't say it like that. I like their slogan. In the line of duty, DOODY. That's awesome. Professional strength, deep cleans faster and more completely. No driving required, helps prevent clogs, maintains working sensor gauges, helps prevent odors, and it is California compliant, which that says a whole lot right there. Now, the product is one of the best I've ever used, and it's natural and biodegradable and all that kind of stuff. I have not used a liquefied product yet. I'm going to try that. But this product right here, you can put it in a tank if you purchased an RV from a used person, used from an individual. You can take this product right here and you can put it in that tank. And so what you do is you drain the black tank. Once you've drained the black tank, then you, excuse me, you drain the black tank, then you fill it up completely full, rinse it out again, do that twice. And then once you do that, then you fill the tank. If you're not living in it, you fill it up and put it in there and let it stay at least 72 hours. The longer, the better. If you're full-time RVing, what you have to do is you have to go ahead and pour it in there. You put about 5 gallons in your tank and then use your tank as normal, which should get you a week or so, week to 7, 8, 9 days, something like that while this product's working. Then you flush this product. And then you flush your tank twice, and then you're good to go. It will break up that those dried solids in your tank. I mean, it's that good. It really is. And so we're going to have to do that. That's something that we've needed to do. I made the appropriate repairs to the tank that I've been trying to do for a long time, and I was able to get that done. That being said, now it's time to clean it out and make it better because I'm not going to lie to you, it's getting a little rank. This is a black tank deep cleaner, removes built-up sludge, resets the black wastewater RV holding tanks, helps prevent sensor malfunction, helps eliminate persistent toilet odors, works on new and old problems. It's powered by advanced probiotics and enzymes. So basically, this is putting back in your tank what eats the solids and breaks them down to liquefy them to send them out to the drain field. And it's safe for the RV campground that you're at. So this is a good product. A lot of campgrounds are really particular about what you use. Unique, UNIQUE, is the product. You should use this every 4 to 6 months. I'm going to hit it probably twice. This is $20 a bottle. Well worth the investment. That's $40 a year. In my house at home, we use Septic Miracle, and that product is $100 and lasts the entire year. So it's comparable in price, works great, does a huge job. I don't know why tobacco is more expensive in Texas. Maybe it's just the whole thing about being out west, which we're in West Texas. But I finally got to a Pilot Flying J. Yes, I did. And it's about 5 miles up the road from where we live. And I just so happened I pulled up and I got out of mine and Amy Subaru Outback, and I seen a whole bunch of Pilot boys going across the parking lot surveying this new store. And it's a nice store. It really is nice. Best gas price in town. I got out, had my Tennessee visor on. Got out and I said, "Hello, gentlemen." And they said, "Hello, sir." I said, "Y'all working hard making Mr. Haslam proud. How's Jim doing?" And they just looked at me for a second. I said, "How's Jim doing?" I said, "He'd be proud to see y'all out here working like this." Now, I was talking about Mr. Haslam, Sr., who is, the few times I have met him, has been just a gentleman and a scholar. And we were actually at a boys club benefit, and he stayed, and he's not no spring chicken. You know what I'm saying? But he actually stayed and talked to everybody that wanted to talk to him. And I'm sure he gets thousands and thousands of people that want to talk to him, but he stayed the whole time. And I respect that. But one of the things I've been doing is my buddy Dean Keys at GFL, Green for Life. He's a fan. He's a smokeless tobacco user like I am, and he's a fan of the Stokers. Well, when smokeless tobacco is $5 something to $9 a can for a 1.2 ounce can, or a 1.9 ounce can, or a 1.6 ounce can. And back home, you can buy a Stoker's tub of long cut wintergreen for $18 in East Tennessee, outside of in Knoxville. When I found this at Pilot Flying J in West Texas for $26, I was tickled to death to pay for it, because there's 12 cans in there. That's less than $3 a can. We'll be keeping that up. So, must be an additional tax. I know when we were in Oregon, it was like $12 a can. I don't know if it has something to do with the shipping of it, but I really think it has something to do with the taxes. And I need to look that up and find out more about it. Now, many of y'all ask me all the time about, "Rick, how do y'all make a living?" Well, and how do you make a living on the road? And that's a concern that most people have. I mean, you got to think about, unless you're independently wealthy, and I'm not independently wealthy. Fortunately, I have basically early retirement because of my health and some things that I have. And of course, Rick's House, thank you so much for all that you all do with that. And our sponsors that sponsor this program and allow us to do it and keep us on the air to help you and talk about the things and try to prepare you the very best that we can, so that when you get on the road, you're ready to go, ready to make it happen. So that's how we do it. But before that, one of the ways that we did that was by making sure that we were working as a camp host. Now, camp host is a neat job. It really is. And so you can find it everywhere. There's the sites called Work Camping, and you can just put in Work Camp Host or Camp Host or those kinds of things. And you can find everything from part-time, which is seasonal, part-time weekends. You can find full-time seasonal, and sometimes there are those jobs out there that are full-time, and we were fortunate to have some of those. Indeed is probably as good a place as any. So I just checked Indeed this morning, and these people in Oak Knoll RV Park and Campground in Pauma Valley, California, must be desperate for some help, because they have 2 positions open for the weekends. They repost this every couple of days. I've been seeing it. Campground host Oak Knoll, OAKKNOLL, one word, RV Park and Campground, South Grade Road, Pauma Valley, California. And so you say, well, Rick, what does that mean? Well, and I know this is California. I'm going to share some others with you, and something that I found for those of you back home in East Tennessee. Now, many of our sponsors are national, like GFL and Permachink, and Knox Rail will ship all over the country. So those sponsors, it doesn't matter where you're listening to me at, you can find those sponsors, and they can help you. This campground is offering $18.50 to $20 an hour pay for the hours worked. In addition, they're offering housing, which typically means an RV site where all utilities are included, cable, internet, and I'm going to tell you something about internet. We'll talk about that on another day. Internet at a campground is unless they've got fiber, and campgrounds are going to fiber. We take our internet with us. We use Visible. That's what I do the show on. It works good. We've been very satisfied with it, and it's $35 a month for unlimited and what's the word I'm looking? Throttled. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay. Now, if you're interested in, maybe you're thinking, well, I don't know if I'd like that. I don't know how I'd feel about that. Well, my suggestion would be to look on Indeed. There's about 20 jobs on there that I saw just today, and find something close to you before you go on the road and try it. Something seasonal. For instance, Tennessee Valley Hospitality in Cherokee, Tennessee has a camp host opportunity. That's just one. Tennessee Valley Hospitality also has a camp host lead camp hosting couple or one person at Watauga in Elizabethton, Tennessee. For those of you up around Johnson City, you can go up there and try it, work, get it done. You say, Rick, what does that mean? Well, let's just go to the camp host lead. Reports to the operations manager, Tennessee Valley Hospitality LLC, doing business as Six Dam. Working at Six Dam offers the opportunity to assist in the management and preservation of a scenic recreational area where visitors can enjoy activities like fishing, boating, and hiking. Our 2026 season provides rewarding roles for outdoor enthusiasts, allowing you to contribute to the upkeep and enjoyment of a beautiful and tranquil environment. Summary. The camp host lead is assigned to selected recreational area or a cluster of smaller areas with a larger recreation complex. For instance, when we were working in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, some of those companies that manage those national parks will have 5-6 national parks, and you may have a camp host that works 2 or 3 of them that are close to each other. That's common. So you can work the cluster. The lead host reports directly to the operations manager and is responsible for the personnel, including training and scheduling, regular operations, financial accountability, facility maintenance, equipment use and care, tool use, care, and storage with the assigned campground. What are some of the activities? Oversees the general operations within the permitted area, supervises and trains the host and maintenance personnel, assists in conducting training workshops, including new hire orientation, basically an admin person for human resources. handles visitor complaints and rules violation in a courteous and professional manner, and seeks to resolve such situations quickly and effectively. You're the go-to person. Makes suggestions and recommendations to improve or streamline operations, performs manual labor tasks. You may supervise certain construction and maintenance tasks, assist maintenance personnel in the performance of routine duties, assists and participates in all phases of fee collection, facility and grounds maintenance tasks, and water and utility system testing as needed. What does that mean, Rick? That means that so many of these places, especially if they're near a lake or a body of water, have wells. Those wells, especially in national parks, have to be tested. That has to be done once a week to once a month, depending to twice a month, depending on the park and the area where you are. And they typically will have a pump house, and you go in. It's kind of like testing a pool. You want to make sure the water is safe and all those things are good to go for the guest, and that they're not going to get sick from drinking the water. Secures, possesses, and maintains all records pertaining to deposits and revenues, and submits reports as directed. Reports any problems and any unsafe or hazardous conditions that are discovered, and enforces the rules. The enforcer. Now, requirements. You say, Rick, what do I have to do? How do you become a camp host? What are they expecting from me? Well, here's what they're expecting. Strong customer service skills. Means you actually have to talk to somebody, not text them. Enjoys working in an environment of extensive public contact. Did you hear me? Extensive public contact at all hours of the night. Be prepared. All days, including off days. Flexible, adaptable, and resilient. Let me repeat that one. Flexible, adaptable, and resilient. Possesses common sense and good judgment. How about that one? You ever seen that in a job application? I like it. Open to feedback and possesses a desire for continuous learning. Possesses basic manual labor abilities, including ability and willingness to clean and sanitize field. That means clean toilets and bathroom areas. Ability and willingness to move about the facility for extended periods of time and occasionally lift up to 20 pounds. That's what you got to do. Excellent verbal and written communication skills, solid administrative abilities, and computer skills. Must be able to work with minimal supervision and be able to learn quickly and follow instructions accurately, willing to work a flexible schedule, including regular evenings, weekends, and holidays. And that's pretty much what you got to be able to do. Now, you can also, let's say you just had enough and you want to go to California. You've always wanted to go to California. We did, and so we did. Stayed out there a little while and said, that's not for us. It's beautiful, but it's not for us. Castle, California, $16.90 to $18.90 an hour, part-time, seasonal, full-time. Locations are Castle. The host site associated with this position is furnished. You get $18.50 to $20 an hour, plus you get free water, free sewer, free electricity, free propane. Facilities in this area are at an elevation range 1,400 to 5,600. Now, this is important because if you're a person like myself who has AFib or another health condition, it doesn't stop you from doing it, but you have to be aware of, and they recommend your physician tells you whether or not that you can function in that environment. If you've never worked in the high elevation environment, it's different. The air's thinner. Typically, that runs April through October. The Castle site has 27 sites and 4 restrooms. Here's another one. Yamo Point Beach Boat Launch. 11 sites in the picnic area and another 9 sites at the Dusty Campground. Same things are available to you. Lake Macomber pull-through, water, sewer, electricity, propane. Same thing for the hike, 30, 35 hours a week, may be split by the couple. A lot of younger couples do that. Mama works one shift, daddy works another one to take care of that, or they can do it together. The host site associated with this position in North Battle Creek is water, sewer, propane, limited internet. And believe me, when they say limited, they mean limited. You better have your own. Facilities in the area, same in the high thing. And of course, it goes on and on and on. So, you know, 18 to $20 an hour is the going rate. Plus your rental site's furnished, your water, sewer, propane, electric, limited internet, all that's furnished. That's a huge part of your package. The last job we worked, we made $35,000 a year apiece, plus everything was furnished for us. It's a pretty good gig. So check it out, see what you think about it. And if you're thinking about it, hey, pick one's close to you and try it. That way you're not too far from home. If you see if you like it or not. Part of it. So I wanted to share that with you today. We got a lot to talk about on the program today. We're going to talk about tank versus tankless water heaters. I had a request for that. Junior is finally broken down and bought him a handyman that I know, a camper, and he's going to have a water heater. And he sent me a message last night and said, hey, I hear you talking about this a lot. Can you talk about it again and tell me what I need to look for and who I need to go to in East Tennessee? And that's Weekend RV Center. Go see Xavier. And we're going to talk about that today. Also, Amy, as we were leaving yesterday, we noticed it was hot in the trailer because we've just been here a little while. She gets to looking at the back slide out. There's a problem. We're going to talk about that. We fixed it. And I've got a new ductwork hack that's worked out for us, and I'm going to share that with you. And I didn't even think about it, but Amy did. She's good like that. We're going to talk about that. Also, I've seen some sales, S-A-L-E-S. I've been shopping for you. Listen, I'll throw my female card out there. I'm in touch with my female side. I like to shop. Amy hates to shop. I love to shop. I'll go to the grocery store in a heartbeat. Morning, Mama. She said, thank God. So we're going to talk about that. All those things are coming up on the program, and we're going to give you the ins and outs. And as always, we're going to share that with you. And I'll pass along the compliments on all the pictures being shown. And I would like to say that we are exploding on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever. I don't know. Amy does all that stuff. Facebook. We're up just tremendously. She shared a post that's, we've had like, how many, 36,000 views in the last 3 weeks?
It's mainly Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, mainly Facebook and Instagram, she says. It's like
TikTok and X is coming along. YouTube, I don't like.
YouTube's a whole different ball game. They want complete control of everything. They run me crazy. The very lovely and talented Mrs. Amy is finding out the same thing. So that's all part of it. So we're going to share all that with you. But before we do that, I got to tell you about some of the folks that bring you this program. And when we come back, we're going to jump into the conversation. Now get your pad, get your pencil, get ready. We're going to talk about those things. You're listening to Life on the Road with Rick's House. It's Saturday morning. We're in beautiful West Texas, Odessa it is. Where it's landman looking out the front door and beautiful landscaping in the park out the front door on the other side. And side door and sort of the back. We don't have a back door, but we got windows. So we're going to share that with you. Good Saturday morning to you. We got it up and running now. We're ready to go. Join us in the chat room. We'll be right back. It's Rick's House.
Waking up between you and Mama every Saturday morning. Lord, it must be a big old bed. You're listening to Rick's House.
Hey y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show on the road. Let me tell you about my friends at Knoxville Salvage and Old City Kitchens. Joel Piper and the team there have been friends of this program for a long time, and they want to be your friend. Friends, they have got the best cabinets, the best products, You say, Rick, is it seconds? No, everything's first quality. They do have some seconds if you want to get a deal, but not on kitchens and not on about everything they have in the store. So trust me, they're part of our team. They want to be part of your team. And in this environment where building materials are going through the roof, they're going to have the best prices on the best products in Knoxville or anywhere in the surrounding area. Call them today. See them online. KnoxvilleSalvage.com, OldCityKitchens.com. A Rick's House favorite.
Don't let be it yourself become do it to yourself. This is Rick's House, the home improvement show.
Permacheat Systems, protecting wood for a long, long time. Not only protecting it, but beautifying it, helping it against decay with log home people, and also working with homeowners. They have a store on Prosser Road in Knoxville at 1605 Prosser Road. That's 800-548-3554. Or a store in Sevierville, 1357 Dolly Parton Parkway, 865-774-3307. 865-774-3307. Let me tell you what you're going to learn when you get there. Things I didn't know about. How about the Woodsman line of smooth log caulk? The other day I was looking for something that matched wood trim. I only had two choices. Not with Permachink, pine, honey, tan, cedar tone, brown, and gray. E-wood, epoxy wood putty that really works. Putty that will harden and become just like the wood itself, maybe even better. If you're missing sections of your window sills or frames or furniture or any wood structure, this is the product for you. But maybe it's something smaller. How about epoxy wood paste? Contact PCS today. Call Permachink Systems today. Toll free 800-548-3554 or at the Sevierville store 865-774-3307 and find out how to make wood better. Hey y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show. Let me tell you about our newest sponsor, GFL. That's Green for Life. If you're looking for that dumpster or that roll-off or that piece of equipment that's going to get that debris away from your job site, or just keep things handy around and clean around that big business that you have, GFL wants to be your partner. They want to service you, and they want to take care of you. Locations in Knoxville and Morristown, and you can call them today at 865-475-7777, 865-475-7777. Dean Kings joins me today to tell us about a special offer for Rick's House listeners. Dean.
Yeah, Rick, if they mentioned that they've heard about us on your show or any kind of thing affiliated with your show, we're going to waive our delivery fee for any roll-off box.
And how much is that,
That's
brother?
a $75 savings.
$75 savings right off the bat. So if you're looking for that dumpster or that open top roll-off, GFL is the company that's got them for you. They want to take care of you, they want to service you, and they do a great job for us. GFL, call them today, 865-475-7777, and mention that you heard them on Rick's House.
Whether you're living in a brand new home or swimming in a money pit, we've got your home improvement answers. It's Rick's House, the home improvement show.
Oh, well, it's Rick's House. If you got a question, he'll help you figure it out. 'Cause it's Rick's House.
Good Saturday morning to you. Welcome back to Rick's House, live on the road with Rick's House. How y'all doing this morning? Good to see you out. Hey, your mom and them. Talking home improvement and RV living on the road. That's what we do here, and we do it better when we get to talk to you. You see our sponsors, go by and visit with them. We'd love for you to spend money with them, and they'll take care of you like they've taken care of me over all these years. And we're so fortunate to have so many with us that have been with us for such a long period of time. That says something about the companies themselves and makes me proud to have them. Oh boy, Knox County Sheriff's Office. Boy, howdy. That's all I'm going to say about that. But yet to be seen. Also, I've been having a ball with spam calls because I have taken the position that if they're going to call me and aggravate the living dog out of me, I'm going to aggravate them back. Have you heard these spam calls with the AI person who says, "Hi, it's Jack." Well, hello, Jack. How you doing? And then it coughs like it's a real person. "Jack, you all right? You going down, brother? You going down? You gonna make it?" And then it goes to tell me that it sent me something about Medicare. No, You got A and B, don't you? Nope. Well, that's okay. We can talk to you about. How old are you? I'm 116. Live down by the river in the tent. That usually hangs them up. Somebody tell me, somebody send to me, somebody show me how I get rid of these things. I mean, good gracious. I was trying to do some business that I needed to do, and they were calling me had both lines of my phone tied up, calling me with these numbers, and they don't show up spam with my spam control. They show up as legitimate numbers, and they're Knoxville, Tennessee numbers, which is where I'm from, and I do a lot of business there. And I have to answer them because I need to know if it's somebody that's calling me that I need to speak to, and it's driving me out of my mind, and I want them to stop. So if you got anything on that, let me know. And also the people that take AI and make phone calls to you from folks that are no longer here on this earth. You go to hell for shit like that. And I'm sorry I said that. I pardon my French, but I'm going to pray for you. And I'm going to pray for me for getting upset about it. But I'm just telling you, that's bad folks that do those kinds of things. So that being said, Windows 10 is gone, children. Gone. I have a perfectly good computer that I can't use for some things now because Windows 10 is gone. The extended session is here till October. You can't do nothing about it. And I said, well, why can't I upgrade to Windows 11 on that computer system? Oh, it won't handle it. Oh, you got to go buy a new one. I don't want to buy a new one. I already bought one new one and it's on Windows 11. No. You got a hack on that? Let me know. I need a good computer person as well. Now, we talked a little bit about the social media hits. We talked about it being hot in here. And a couple of things that we addressed with that. Managing your HVAC and dealing with that in a travel trailer, RV, camping trailer, pop-up, I don't care what it is, you have got to consider how your RV is parked, the direction it is, how the sun comes up, how the sun goes down, what the wind does. All those kinds of things are important. The glass in the single glass windows in your RV are basically a little bit better than a sheet of plastic. Brother Jerry Cunningham from Cunningham Windows watching us this morning. And he's forgot more about windows than I know. But what he can tell you is single glass, and anybody that knows their salt on windows is worthless. I mean, basically it keeps the wind out. That's what it does. So that being said, there's options out there. You can tint the glass. That's an option. They make covers now that you can put on the outside. They're pretty expensive. I'm investigating that you can put on the outside where people can't see in. You know, I don't want to feel like I'm trapped inside of my travel trailer. I live on the road because I like to look at what's around me. But when it's 100 degrees outside, you have to be aware of that. And if it takes blinds plus blackout curtains to keep that comfortable, you got to get ahead of it. And let me tell you what I mean by that. You're only going to be able, if it's 100 outside, you'll do good to get the inside temperature down to 80. Unless you just have an excessive amount of air, of HVAC. Most of us don't have that. We've adapted ours to do that. But what you can do is you can start early that morning by trying to maintain that temperature as long as you can as it rises till the end of the day here in the West, where your hottest temperature is at 5 or 6 o'clock. Now, the way that you do that, by doing that, if you let your travel trailer get above 70s, You let it get up to 75, 76, 78, 80, you're backing up because you'll never, it does not have the capacity to bring it back down, and you're going to be hot and miserable the rest of the time. You got to stay ahead of it. One of the ways that we do that is by understanding airflow. We all know that those of you who purchased a trailer like we did during COVID, they were slapping these things together as fast as they could, and they're not put together with the best set of circumstances that they can be. So we noticed, let me rephrase, my wife noticed that our bathroom, that vent in the bathroom will part your hair down the middle. And it's cold, but it's also outside the bathroom doors where the thermostat is. So if it gets that spot in the hall cold, it'll cut the air off in the back bedroom, our master bedroom, and the front living room will not get the appropriate air. So in a HVAC system in a residential home, typically what we do is we have dampers in there that we can control the flow of, or at least use the register covers. Don't always have that in RV. They're either open or closed. That's the way that it is so many times. Now, that being said, Amy said, it's cold in this bathroom. I said, you know what? It is cold in the bathroom. And I don't like to get out of the shower, have a nice hot shower, and get out and be freezing to death because that vent's blowing part in your hair and drying it for you. So I'd already removed the registers off all the vents in the ceiling, so it's just an open hole that's about 4 inches across in diameter. And I got to thinking, how can I block that off without it looking like dog, so that air bypasses that register in the bathroom and goes on back to our bedroom where we need it the most? So I thought, well, I could do this, I could do that, I could stuff a towel up in there, but when you stuff a towel up in there, then it blocks the vent going back to the bedroom, so that didn't work. Then I got to thinking about it. Amy, do you see that bowl that I have anywhere near me?
No, but I'll get you one.
Okay, I
The
appreciate
vents are
it.
6 inches.
Vents are 6 inches, but that's not the interior hole, but they are overall 6-inch vents, and that's a 6-inch duct, which is standard flex duct where it is. She's going to get me. I'm going to show y'all something this morning. Is this a permanent solution? I don't know. I just need a paper bowl. I thought, I'm going to try this and see if it works. If it works, I will get a piece of plastic or plexiglass or something and do it. Thank you so much. So I was sitting in the living room eating some delicious Mexican rice that my bride had made, which she's getting really good on it because she watches Rachel Step by Step and Arnie Tex. And Rachel says, you cook the rice just like that. Just like that. And her husband's name is Ron. She says, my Ron likes it just like that. And we love watching her. She's something else. So here I have a standard paper bowl. If you are an RV person or you live on the road, you will learn that paper is your friend. We use paper plates and paper bowls. We do use our pans and things, but washing dishes gets old. And a dishwasher, we're not necessarily doing that like we used to, okay? So that being said, so I got to looking at this, and I got to looking at the back of it. And this perimeter of this bowl is about exactly what needs to be, because the flange that's up in the ceiling has about a 1/4 inch flange all the way around it, maybe 3/16. So I put it up against that and measured it. And so what I did was I took a pair of scissors and I cut this out, which left me with a perfectly round, solid white, like the ceiling, duct cover. and I slid that up into the air vent, and the air pushed it back down, and it sealed. Now, I left it a little bit in a place or two. I left it open a little bit so a small amount of air could escape for two reasons into the bathroom. One, because you need a little air in there. You don't want it to be stuffy, especially with the moisture that's in there. Even though we have a vent we can open, but when you open that vent and turn it on, it sucks all the cold air out along with the moisture, and that's no good because you're trying to keep all that cold air in that you can. That's important. But by doing that, it lets a little air in to help keep the bathroom cool. It lets the majority air bypass that vent and go on back to the bedroom, where it has probably increased the volume of airflow in our bedroom 100%, maybe 200%. And because some air can escape around the edge in a couple places, it doesn't force it out of the vent itself and cause a problem during the night. That's a nickel solution to a very important problem. Adapt, overcome, adjust. Use this common sense that you've got up there. If it works for you, that's all that matters. You're the one making the payments. You're the one living in there. So that's a great little hack that we learned that works out really, really good. Now, if I decide to keep that, I can always take a piece of styrofoam like this. Just plain old poly styrofoam. I can take that. And I can trace my circle on there, pop that up in there, and it's done. And that'll be next. That's what I'll do next. And it's white and has kind of the texture of the ceiling, and it'll work just well. Plus, it'll insulate that air and keep it cold as it goes across the vent to do that. So, like I said, a simple solution for a difficult problem. Hang on one second. Now, almost every travel trailer and RV that I know has rounded windows and rounded door edges. Why they do that, I don't know. I assume that it is something for aesthetics to make it look better and work better, and that's great. And I'm all about aesthetics. You know, I don't want to just slap something up that don't look good. I don't want to do that. I want it to look, the way it's supposed to look and be the way it should be. That's something that I look for when I'm doing that. That being said, take a little time. It's a nickel plate or a penny plate or penny bowl. If you don't get the way you want it now, I was tired and I didn't have the time, but it takes 4 screws. They're square drive. I'm going to take that vent down and I'm going to fix it in there and then put the vent back up so that it's permanent and it's the way that I want it to be. And that's something that I'll do, coming up probably today to make sure that that's done and done properly. That's an important part of what we do. That being said, that will help to keep that space cool and done the way that it is. Now, I'm putting weather stripping. Y'all have seen this weather stripping that I have that I'm applying to the doors, because every little crack, every little space that allows heat in is something that you're having to fight. That's causing you not to be comfortable in your RV, whether it's heat or whether it's cold air. That being said, I told you guys we felt like it was hot in the living room. We got to looking, and Amy could see outside at our slide. That's not acceptable. So when we came back, I went outside and I looked at it, and it has a flange that goes around it, a rubber flange, and that flange was flipped in, and there's a gap there.
We had a real bad windstorm.
We did. We had a huge wind and dust storm, and it flipped. Matter of fact, I heard the awfulest bunch of stuff out there, and I wasn't. It was 60-mile-an-hour winds. I ain't gonna go out there and go rolling down the yard like a tumbleweed. If I get knocked down, I bounce back up. Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. But that being said, so I didn't want to do that. So when I went out there yesterday, I looked. There was a 50-pound potting soil bag that had blowed off of somebody's porch, or under their car. It was empty under their trailer and was underneath my slide. It got caught and it was flapping up and down against the floor of it. Sounded like somebody was trying to break into the house. I mean, that's what it sounded like. So I was able to flip that back out, and then Amy goes, "Oh, the slide's not all the way out." Well, it had hit resistance of that rubber flange and had stopped. So she run the slide all the way out, sealed it up, stopped the problem. Now it's comfortable in here, just as comfortable as it can be. And we've got the shades open, and we're, looking outside, because nobody wants to live like a hermit, like you're living in a dungeon. Now, as I put that weather stripping around my doors and my windows in the house, one of the things I have to do, let me just show you. This is what the weather stripping looks like. This is a piece of adhesive tape that sticks to it. You take a primer that's on like a wet nap, like you wipe your hands with it at Kentucky Fried Chicken, and you go around the frame, and it takes the glaze off, and you have to wear gloves with it, and it makes this adhesive stick. But where this was cold in the house, when I pulled the red cover off of the sticky part, it wanted to pull the glue off too. So I had to set this out in the sun and let that heat up so it would unbond, because it's sticky, as it should be. So I did that. Now I'm running it up the side of the door to cover the gap between the door and the door frame. And then I get to the top, which is curved like this in the corner. Rick, what'd you do? Well, what you do is you run it straight up, and you run it straight across and straight down, and you leave the curve off. Or you can do the curves first and then run it over top of it. Either way doesn't matter, because it's on the interior, so it's not a water issue. If you were doing it outside, you'd want to put the curves on first, put the top part over it, just like we're running J-channel around the window or siding, so that it leaks over and top and down. When I seal the sides of the slide, I do the bottom and work my way up, overlapping the tape as I go, so as the water comes down, it goes over and over and over, and I'm not depending on the seam of the two things combined to keep the water out. That's an issue. So we have to do that. So I went to Harbor Freight, one of my favorite stores, because they have tools for those now. They used to not. They have tools for those folks that work every day. I see a lot of those used down here from the Bauer product, B-A-U-E-R, Bauer. And I bought this little gauge. Now, you put this little gauge up, and these move. Watch. See that? They move. And you push it into the corner exactly like you want it, which is this way. And now I have the arch, an exact copy of the arch that I can transfer to my weather stripping, just like that, as Rachel says. Now all I have to do is hold it end to end, take a pair of scissors and cut my arch, and it fits perfectly around the door so that the door opens and closes the way it should be. It's a $5 tool, y'all. $5 tool. Now, can you buy them that are $40? Yes, you can. Do they work better than this one? Maybe over a period of time. Does this one bend if you throw it in your toolbox? It does. because those are aluminum. But you know how you stop it from bending when you throw it in your toolbox? You keep the package. Come in, Ricky. And then you open it up and you drop it back in there and put it in your toolbox, and it don't get bent. And that's how we solved that problem. First thing I did was, once I got this, I took a short piece, and I tested it to make sure that this was the exact angle that I need. And then I tweaked it, and that became my pattern. So I don't have to use this every time because this will move. I got this right the first time, and then I made a pattern on my weather stripping, and now I have a pattern to put up there, and I just set the other one on top of it and cut it exactly like it is and put it on the door. We'll put some videos up of that so you guys can see it. But $5 tool caused me a lot, not to say a lot of bad words, and get frustrated and throw the weather stripping out in the yard. Not that I'd ever do that, but if it's 100 and I'm hot and sweaty and I need to sit down and I'm tired, yeah, I might. So, just a Rick's House tip for you on how you can deal with those curved windows or anything curved in your house. Or let's say that you've got something that's stepped. You know, this will adjust in multiple capacities. Let's say that you need something to go around. Let's say that you've got a wire coming through around a piece of trim, and you need these holes for that wire to go through. Or let's say that maybe let's say that you didn't get it right the first time. You just push it back out and try again. Oh, there's a little straggler. Let's push that one down. Let's push this one back up. You can adjust it individually. And this and a pair of scissors or a box cutter or utility knife is a fantastic way to get that done and to make that happen. So that's a Rick's House tip for you. If you have questions, you can always reach me during the week. If there's things y'all want me to talk about. Jim Sharp, good morning, my brother. I saw a picture of you celebrating with some grandchildren. And might I say, you was looking awful handsome, sir. I don't know where y'all was at, but it looked like a good time for all. Good to see you in this morning. Jerry said you're Mr. Fix-It. I don't know if I'm Mr. Fix-It, but I've been fortunate enough to learn from some folks that know what they're doing. Jerry Cunningham Sr. And I don't know if I was smart enough or dumb enough to just listen. Or probably when I was young, scared enough that when my papa, he was a man of few words. Loved him. Still do. Miss him every day. Amy's daddy. Miss him every day. Some of the men that worked for me building houses. 4th, 5th, 6th grade education, some of these men. Some of them more than that. But I'll tell you this. When my papa said something to you, you listened. Vonda, good morning. Good morning. Fella Eagle sister from Gibbs High School. Appreciate y'all joining us here. This chat room is getting busy. And I respected him enough, I guess, that when he did tell me something, I knew he was trying to help me and I ought to listen. The generation that we're raising now, or we've raised, they don't know about that. Oh, did I say that out loud? Texas Roadhouse is where Brother Jim was. Oh, they'll put a roll on you there. Of course, if I eat a half of one of them rolls, I can't eat no steak. I have to take it to go, you know. Texas Roadhouse is fine eating. Although we don't eat there much because they can't guarantee anything gluten free because they make everything homemade, all their batters and stuff, and so they just tell you straight up, hey, but we don't do that. But you know, we'd love to have you, but we don't do that. And I get that. That's not what their business is. So you know that's all part of it. So that being said, my bride has been very sick, and we're getting her better. She's hopped up on some steroids and a CPAP. Bless her heart. She has not felt well. I went to pick them up at the pharmacy, and we got a new pharmacist down here, and she's super nice. And she said, now listen, I don't care what this package says on how this doctor says to take this. She said, but just tell her if she don't want to be up cleaning and running around the camper at night on the outside planting flowers, tell her not to take these at night. She said, well, start taking them in the morning. I said, yes, man, I will pass that along. Amy said, oh, I took these. She said, yeah, I won't take that tonight. We won't do that. So, great stuff on the program. All right.
Right in, Ricky. Tell them about going to the deli. They start talking.
I tell you what.
They don't be.
I've got a story that I'm gonna share with y'all this morning. If y'all want a good laugh this morning, and I ain't scared to laugh at myself, but this is so funny, y'all. It's just absolutely hilarious. We need to take a short time out to hear from a couple sponsors, and we're going to do short ones here on out because we kind of got them situated. And then when we come back, I'll do a couple, and then we'll come back, and I'm going to tell y'all this. Don't miss this. Go to the bathroom, go get that biscuit, and I'm going to tell you something else about that. I got a biscuit story, and then I've got a story about living in West Texas where there are a lot of Hispanic folks who we on the west side, down on the west side. Come on.
We're not. You were shopping on the west side.
I was shopping we don't live on the west side, but we were shopping on the west side because that you don't got no red lights. You get on one highway, go down about 6, 8, 9 miles, turn left, get on another highway about 4 or 5 miles. Bam, you're there. Everything you need. Walmart, Ace Hardware, Lowe's, Home Depot. It's my buddy up in Rutledge says. Everything, HEB, good to go. Don't need nothing else. I got it all right there. Tractor Supply. Oh, I got to tell you about Tractor Supply, too, when we come back. Don't miss it. I got good stuff for y'all. Don't miss it. Hang on, youngins. You're listening to Rick's House. We'll be right back.
Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show. Let me tell you about our newest sponsor, GFL. That's Green for Life. If you're looking for that dumpster or that roll-off or that piece of equipment that's going to get that debris away from your job site, or just keep things handy around and clean around that big business that you have, GFL wants to be your partner. They want to service you, and they want to take care of you. Locations in Knoxville and Morristown, and you can call them today at 865-475-7777, 865-475-7777. Dean Kings joins me today to tell us about a special offer for Rick's House listeners. Dean.
Yeah, Rick, if they mentioned that they've heard about us on your show or any kind of thing affiliated with your show, we're going to waive our delivery fee for any roll-off box.
And how much is that,
That's
brother?
a $75 savings.
$75 savings right off the bat. So if you're looking for that dumpster or that open top roll-off, GFL is the company that's got them for you. They want to take care of you, they want to service you, and they do a great job for us. GFL, call them today, 865-475-7777, and mention that you heard them on Rick's House.
Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show on the road. And let me tell you about my friends at Knoxville Salvage and Old City Kitchens. Joel Piper and the team there have been friends of this program for a long time, and they want to be your friend. Friends, they have got the best cabinets, the best products. You say, Rick, is it seconds? No, everything's first quality. They do have some seconds if you want to get a deal, but not on kitchens and not on about everything they have in the store. So trust me, they're part of our team. They want to be part of your team. And in this environment where building materials are going through the roof, they're going to have the best prices on the best products in Knoxville or anywhere in the surrounding area. Call them today. See them online. KnoxvilleSalvage.com, OldCityKitchens.com. A Rick's House favorite.
Whether you're living in a brand new home or swimming in a money pit, we've got your home improvement answers. It's Rick's House, the home improvement show.
Oh, well, it's Rick's House. If you got a question, he'll help you figure it out. 'Cause it's Rick's House.
y'all. Good Saturday morning to you. Hey, your mom and them. Mm-hmm. Is it Memorial Day? Ain't it weekend? Or is that next weekend, Mama? Next weekend's Memorial Day? There'll be a hot dog devoured here, I promise you. I'll eat half of it and then the other half of it later. Good to see y'all out this morning. Now, we got stories to tell. Oh, say it ain't so, Ricky. It's so. So one of the things that we found as we travel this great country and get to see some of the things and feel so fortunate to be able to do that is that I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a little dark skinned and I fit in some places that, you know, Amy's blonde and blue eyed and beautiful. And I'm tan and greasy and ugly. Well, not real ugly, but I'm just kidding. But so I'm at HEB, and HEB is a grocery store that's headquartered in Texas, and so I'm in there, and it's cheaper than Walmart. You know, there's about 6 stores that are cheaper than Walmart, and Walmart has its place. I mean, you know, and that's the other thing about being on the road. You got to learn to shop. You got to learn how to utilize what's around you, what's close to you. You got to learn how to, you know, I know where to get what and where not to get what and where to do this. And if it's a convenience thing, sometimes you might do that. Otherwise, we try to plan. Grocery curbside pickup is my friend, especially when the carts are down and there ain't no buggies or ain't no electric carts, because all those people that have minor disabilities or major disabilities are in the store. I ain't fighting nobody over an electric cart. I'll just call an order and go get it. Now, one of the things that I have been doing, I even told my bride this, is when I park, I've got my things, I will take a cart and utilize that. So I'm trying to get more walking in every day to try to stay as strong as I can and strengthen what I can and do what I can. My problem is I have to walk a little bit and sit a little bit and walk a little bit and sit a little bit, and I can't do that for extended periods of time. I just can't. The things I have won't let me do that. However, used to, and I was talking to the girls at Walmart that check you out as you're going out, you know, check your ticket. And, you know, used to, in Walmarts, you had benches, and other stores, you had, not just Walmart, other stores, you had benches all throughout the store. Well, now you don't have that, because after COVID, they couldn't keep them clean, so they did away with them. So you got 2 choices. If you're a man my size who can't get electric cart, you either go back and order it and go pick it up, which is what I have to do. Or if you're going to try to walk, you can go to Sporting Goods and sit on the shelled corn for the deer, or for the fireplaces, or wood pellets. And then if you can make it down to dog food, pet supplies on the other end of the store, you can sit on dog food bags. And then you got to make it back up front, and then you got to stand through. I just can't do it anymore. I've accepted it. I try to work around that. Now, that being said, I told Amy, you know, you ever just want a good sandwich? I just like a good sandwich. Amy's daddy called them Dagwoods. You know, like Dagwood and Blondie and the funny papers back in the day. Y'all remember Dagwood and Blondie? I do. He'd say, Danny, how about one of them Dagwoods? And she'd take that Virginia ham, and she'd bought it at the store, and Amy does this. She gets it chipped, you know, just real thin, paper thin, pile it up on there on some good toast and hit it with some good vinegar, lemon-based mayonnaise like Hellman's or Duke's or the one we use now, which is a little expensive, but it's so much better for us. We have to eat it. It's called Made With. Oh, man, it's good. 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 Because I don't eat much of it, but it's good. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't eat it often. When I eat it, I eat lots of it. Found some pretty decent tomatoes down here. They ain't Granger County like back home in East Tennessee, but they're pretty doggone good. They ain't Hot House either. So, that being said, so I'm in HEB, and we were in bad need of some chipped turkey, sliced, chipped up, ready to make a Dagwood sandwich. Amy said, see if they got that cracked black pepper. Well, I got to make sure it's gluten-free, dairy-free, all those kinds of things because we have those limitations. So I'm in there and I'm on the phone with her. Well, I'm going up, you know, I'm driving the little car up there and get up there. And I see a younger Hispanic lady that's behind the counter, got the hairnet on, ready to roll. She's sitting there waiting. She's looking at me. She said, you going to come get something to eat? And I said, yeah, I'm on my way. Hang on. I'm coming. So I pull up there and turn sideways, and she comes up and she just nods at me. Now, what that means in West Texas is her English is not good. My Spanish is not good. I can count to 4, 5. Hola, I got that one. And then some bad words I learned that I don't say. That's what happens on a construction site. You have to, you know, you get those. But anyway. So I pull up, she comes over, she immediately starts talking to me in Spanish. Now this just tickles Amy to death. You out here giggling back there?
They do it all the time.
Go ahead and speak up, Mama, tell them.
They do it all the time to you.
They do. Listen, when I was back home in East Tennessee, if I went into a store, I don't care what store, I don't care if it's Food City, Walmart, Aldi's, it don't matter.
It's that Swedish in you.
Yes, it is. It's the Swedish in me. You know, I'm 46% Swedish. Can you believe that? My buddy Troy said, you got the wrong spit.
No.
They got the wrong spit. I said, I'm a Southern. He said, you're not. You're a Puerto Rican. Well, I'm proud of my heritage. It's all good. It's the Indian in me. I got a lot of Indian in me. But anyway, I ain't getting no check, but I got the Indian in me. I need some casino money. But anyway. So I walk up and she just starts talking to me. I mean, she's rattling it off, and I'm going to learn Spanish. It may kill me, but I'm going to learn it. And I told Amy, I said, you like it, don't you?
I like to hear your dialect of Spanish.
She said she'd like to hear me, senorita, you know, putting my East Tennessee dialect on it, because they talk like we do in Texas. They just don't have the twang.
They know we're from somewhere else.
But they know we're from somewhere else. Can you care get me a little bit, Mama? Amy's gonna cough a lung up, bless her. She bless her heart. I ain't never seen anybody cough like that. I mean, it's bless her heart. It's terrible. Well, they can hear you. I mean, ain't no hiding it.
Sorry.
Just don't poop. No.
What? God.
That's awful. I just want to see if she's listening. So anyway, I drive up to the counter there. And this girl, I mean, she rolls it off, brother. She's rolling them auras, and that's the only thing that I'm concerned about is learning Spanish, is because our Hispanic brothers and sisters, they speak so fast. I don't know if my brain will comprehend that and translate it that quick, because I'm gonna be slow. So Amy said. So I called her because there was a question that I know which brands we can have. They didn't have one of the brands, so I had to call her to Google it. Or she already knows if she can have that particular brand because of her diet, and she has to have because of celiac disease. First thing she said, "What's a girl look like that's helping you?" I said, "No, you did." She said, "I said, well, she's probably mid-20s and Hispanic." She said, she talked to you in Spanish. I said, right off the bat. She said, I knew it. They do. And see, before that, when I was, wherever I've been, where, if I go in the store, there's something about me that people will come up and go, can you tell me where the duct tape is? I'm like, and I've shopped so much, and I like to shop so much. I'm like, yeah, it's on aisle 7 back in home improvement. Go halfway down, look down toward the bottom, and it starts down there with your basic duct tape that, starts about $3 a roll, and then you work your way up into the Gorilla Tape and the T-Rex. If you need anything, come back and get me, and I'll help you with that. You work here now? I just look like I do. So you take that, and then you look Hispanic. They talking to me. I got no idea what they're saying. None. And I can say, hey, how you doing? And they go, hola. because they think, well, you don't, you know. So that's hilarious. And it's true. So I've got to learn, if I'm going to look the part, I got to talk the part. Brother Jerry, can you help me on that Spanish? How about you, Jim? Maybe Vonda can help me with that. And, but all jokes aside, that's just, I mean, it happens everywhere I go. I mean, it's everywhere I go. Now, I was in Ace Hardware, too, and this is something. I'm going back to Ace Hardware, and they don't have carts in Ace Hardware, so you got to use a push cart, you know. I asked this young man, he was down there working on a shelf. I said, hey, brother. He said, hey. I said, listen, my legs don't work real good, and I'm trying to find couplings. He said, what? I said, a coupling. A what? I said, a coupling. COUPLING. Inch and a half. Oh, that's on aisle 17. Didn't offer to get them help me. Didn't offer to go show me where they was. Didn't got me. And then I just kind of looked at him in puzzlement, thinking, listen, brother, this is an Ace Hardware. You all know your stuff. This ain't like going somewhere you don't know it. I'm struggling as it is. Can you know, because you know what happens when you go into plumbing aisle. Ain't nobody worked the plumbing aisle in a month. 3/4 in half inch, and half inch is in quarter, and 2 inches in inch and a half, and inch and a quarter is over there in 2 inch. I mean, you know. And then I looked at him because it caught me off guard, and I guess that's something about being 50, getting ready to be 58. I just kind of, what I think just kind of either comes out on my face or comes out of my mouth. Just the way it is. And he said, oh, if you can't find it, let me know. I thought, if you think I'm going to go back there all the way to back to the store and can't find it, and then walk back all the way back up here to get you to walk all the way back there when I'm just barely getting back there to start with, that ain't going to happen. But that's, again, customer service is important. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What was the other story I was going to tell, Mother? Got to learn Spanish. That's important. Now, did a little shopping before we jump into tankless versus not tankless. Tanked water heaters versus tankless water heaters. That being said, Tractor Supply, big sale today, the 16th. May the 16th, 2026. All birds, 50% off. Chickens, turkeys, and ducks. So if you got a little one and they want to raise some chickens or raise some ducks or raise some turkeys, they got them half off at your Tractor Supply today. We miss our chickens. That's one thing. And some campgrounds let you have chickens if you've got them in the appropriate thing. Miss them fresh eggs. Lord have mercy. Vonda Collins tell me one time, is anything better than a fresh egg? No. Now, I went to the Walmart, Amy and I did, to pick up our order that we had placed because it was payday for Rick Allen, and so we needed Dawn, which we use Dawn for everything. And if you're in the RV life, Dawn is your friend. I promise you. It's got multiple uses. We use Persil for our washing powders, our liquid, and that stuff works phenomenally. Persil is the stuff. Had to get that. I'm gonna need you for a second. And some other things. Now, that coffee has hit me, so I'm going to take a little time out, and we're going to hit you with some advertisements from some of the folks that bring you the Rick's House program, and I will make a quick run, and I'll be right back to finish my story about what happened at Walmart grocery pickup. Now's a good time to go get coffee, and I will return here in just a minute, y'all. Welcome to my late 50s. I'll be right back.
You know, I grew up in a house as an electrician's son, and I figured out right fast that I didn't want to do electricity for a living. Why? Because it takes a professional. Let me tell you about the professionals at Keith and Sons Electric. Great friends of the Rick's House program. They are the electrical contractor that we like to recommend, who's with over 15 years of experience. They've built their company servicing the residential community and doing the commercial stuff. Solar systems, new construction, remodeling, bucket truck service, pools, spas, jacuzzis, wiring, electrical generator installations, panel upgrades, gas station wiring, and more. Whether it's troubleshooting or repair, we want you to call the team at Keith and Sons Electric, 763-6599. That's 850-763-6599, or find them online at rickshouse.radioshow.com. Go to game. Keith and Sons Electric. We make the impossible doable. Keith and Sons Electric, getting the job done from bucket trucks to small residential. Professional electric services done the way they should be. Keith and Sons Electric Company, a Rick's House favorite.
Located in the heart of East Tennessee, where they do full service plumbing and repairs. All Clear Plumbing. Wheeler and Daniel, they know how to get the things right in your house. From a broken water pipe to an emergency repair to a water line installed, or maybe something that you never thought a plumber could do. Who do you call? You call All Clear Plumbing. Talk to Wills, All Clear Plumbing, your choice for plumbing. 865-443-7752.
Oh, well, it's Rick's House. If you got a question, he'll help you figure it out. 'Cause it's Rick's House.
Whoa, whoa, way down south in the rain and the heat. It sure get hot there, you couldn't cook an egg on the concrete. Walking around on the city streets, they go, whew, let the big dog eat.
Thank y'all.
Big dog eat.
Lego Rocco Hermance. Sounds a little like Joe Cocker, don't he?
Hoo-yah! Call the doctor.
Here it is.
Call the nurse. I don't know what it is, but I know it sure hurts. Call the ambulance and call the cop. Call the number of the man of God. Let the big dog eat.
Oh, thank you for that brief timeout. Lord have mercy, y'all. Welcome to them late 50s. Brother Jim Sharp, I will tell her when she comes back in here. Man, I'm telling you, that coffee, boy, when it hits you, it hits you. So, have no idea where I was at. Back to the story. We were talking about the birds. 50% off shopping. And then I got sidetracked, so.
And another funny story.
Oh, another funny story. That's good if I can remember what it was. Jerry Senior said, getting old ain't for sissies. That's right, brother. Tell him.
Maybe the $1.30 for a sheet of paper towels.
Okay. I have the story that I'm going to share with you this morning. And Jim Sharp says, tell Amy I feel her pain just getting over double pneumonia, and I have conquered speaking Taco Bell. She said she is sorry to hear that, brother, but glad that you are better. Yeah, she's got some kind of stuff going on, and they think it has something to do with COVID from where we got it at the very beginning and all that kind of stuff. So right now I've taken over some duties on the road, which we've reached that point in life where we take over those duties on the road, and I remember the other story. And so I'm going through that. I'm doing the shopping, right? And I love to shop, but I'm doing online shopping. Of course, not being a veteran homemaker like my bride, who's done it for a long time. I don't know if y'all can see that. Now, there's her chair. There's my chair. There's that behind us, the shelf. There's Bubba's ropes from when he rodeoed. But anyway, what the heck? I don't know how I did that. There we go. There we go. I was looking and I'm like, she said, I need paper towels and I need toilet paper for the house. I'm like, okay. Well, when we were in Alpine, Texas, there are Lowe's, just like building materials, but there are Lowe's grocery stores, and we have them here. And they have a product of paper towels called Level, Level, and they're very inexpensive, and they're really, really good, and they're pick-a-sheet. You know, we use the pick-a-sheet ones where it's two of them on one sheet. And so I got schooled on this yesterday because I was like, well, these are $1.34 a sheet, and these are 99 cents a sheet, and these are 92 cents a sheet. And Amy's like, no, they're not. I said, yeah, they are. She said, no, they're not. They're not a sheet. They're 100 count, which means 50 sheets. I said, she started laughing at me. She said, you don't know, do you? I said, no, I don't know. What are you talking about? I said, all I know is that if it's 92 sheets for this one, 92 cents a sheet, a count, whatever it is, for, you know, I didn't realize that as a veteran mom and homemaker, there are these little intricacies that what I was saying was stupid and wrong. And she brought it to my attention. Why? Because it was fun. And I might say she was correct. And once she explained it to me, I said, well, that does sound pretty stupid. So, boys, listen to Mama. Mama knows. She's been doing this a while. She said, well, I have been doing this for a little while. I said, oh, I know you have. You do a whole lot better job than I do. So, absolutely. That's part of it. Now, so I placed my order. Amy and I do, and she feels like getting out for a little bit, which she really didn't, but she just wanted to get out because it's sun shining and pretty outside. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Odessa, in landman country where we are, Odessa, Midland, on the interstate is ugly. I ain't going to lie to you. It is ugly. U-G-L-Y. My dad used to call it Yogly. Yogly's 10 times worse than ugly. It's Yogly. It is. It ain't nothing but flat, high plains, oil derricks, FLIR, you know, burning the flame, you know, the fumes off and the deal. I mean, that's what you got. I mean, that's what you got. But the park where we are, if y'all looked at the Facebook page or the book face or whatever you want to call it, y'all saw our backyard is phenomenal. I mean, it is. I mean, they ain't a country club back home got a yard looks like that. I mean, it is beautiful. So that's what we see. You know, and it's about we're convenient and it's safe, and you know that's what, and it's out of traffic, but close enough to the medical center that we need to go to, which is phenomenal. You have University of Texas Permian Basin here, which is a D2 school, kind of like UT Chattanooga. Odessa Medical Center is where we go, and it's world class. I mean, it's nice, like UT at home. The other orange, Texas. So we've got that, and then we've got a medical center, another medical center. I mean, the healthcare is really good, and that's what we're after. So it's good. So we're enjoying that. But that all being said, so I knew they didn't have any carts because they had to replace them at Walmart's. I don't know if they're doing that back home, but all the Walmart's here have 2 electric carts, 2, and they've got probably 20 handicap spaces. That don't compute in any kind of math, new math, old math. And you don't have to be able to write in cursive to know that. But if you can write in cursive, it's just like Vonda said, common sense. Glad to see more of us have it. Amen. Learned it from Papa and Amy's daddy. Use that head. Work smarter, not harder. Enjoy life. So that's what we're talking about. So I placed my order, and then of course I had to place a second order because I forgot some stuff. So I said, Amy hadn't been out to there's two Walmarts, one on the east end, one on the west end. East end is where the college is, and it's very congested, and there's a lot of folks there, and it's nice. And there's a Sam's there. But on the other end, on the west end where we are, is really, it's a nicer store. It really is in stock better, but it's out a little further. But I like it because it's, like I told y'all earlier, it's, straight road, turn left, straight road, turn left, straight road, turn in the parking lot. No red lights, not one. So anyway, so we're picking up an order, and the young lady comes over, and I got the window rolled down, and she's putting it in the back. And by the way, do y'all tip the grocery people? Somebody tell me. When them youngins bring it out there, and it's 100 degrees, and they're out there sweating, do y'all tip them?
Yes.
We do. But a lot of them in certain places that we've lived as we travel the country, they won't take it. They said, we can't take tips. Walmart doesn't allow us to take tips. I said, why? They said they don't allow us to take tips. And they said they got cameras and they watch them. Then some of them say, yeah, we can take a tip. It's just like when you're parking, people say, well, you can park at Walmart. Not all of them. Probably about 70% of them you can park at, but not all of them. It's open to the manager's discretion. So I guess that's something else that's open to management discretion. But anyway, so we're out there. She's putting it in. She comes up the front. She said, here's your eggs. And she hands me a bag with 32 18-count eggs in it and goes back to the back. And I looked at Amy and I said, she said, we didn't order eggs, did we? I said, no, we got eggs at the house. So she's handing them back to me. And then about that time, she comes back up the front, and I'm like, hey, these eggs ain't there. She said, well, they load these carts, and she said they put multiple orders on the carts. And she said, so that's somebody else's. And she was new, and she was young, and she was doing a great job. She was super nice. I'm not saying anything about that. And so I saw that we had ordered for a special. Amy's has to be dairy-free, and she has to be gluten-free because of her celiac disease and dairy intolerance and so forth and so on. But we have found that Breyers has a oat milk vanilla ice cream that is absolutely positively delicious, and it's in a regular carton like regular ice cream, and it's not four prices. It's the same just about as a regular ice cream. Because the little small ones are ridiculous. They're good, but they're ridiculous in cost. But these Breyers is in there. And I saw it in the bag. Because she said, will you care to get a little ice cream? I said, no, let's get us a little ice cream. We'll have it. Which I'd already bought some that put in the freezer. But we had about half a gallon. So I wanted to make sure she had plenty. So I got it. So she got all that situated. And the girl, and then the boy brought out the other order. And we're off. And so we get home. And we pull up, and that's one thing I like about. I can back that Outback right up, open that, hit that button, and open that back door, and I can walk right over and set it right in the travel trailer. Mama's scooting it back, and I'm carrying it, setting it in 2 steps, which I can still do, sort of. But anyway, and so we get in, and I'm putting the groceries up. She's sitting down and because her breath's off, so And I'm going through it, and I'm like, we're missing some stuff. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, we've got these new chips that I don't eat chips much.
Yeah, you used to say, I don't like chips.
I used to never eat chips. Amy is a chip monster. She loves chips. Always has. I could take a chip or leave it. I really could. But since I've been married to her in my older age, I have developed an affinity for chips. And I got to be careful. And
we just have to eat healthy chips.
We have to eat healthy chips. So they got these new chips at Walmart and Heb, and I'm sure Food City's probably got them back home. It's H-E-B, not HEP. HEP is High Back Electric and Plumbing back home. HEP Plumbing Services, whatever. It's Heb, H-E-B. So I'm going to start saying H-E-B. You got to say it right. Listen, if you're going to be a professional homemaker,
you're not from here. You say Heb.
If you're going to be a professional homemaker, you've got to learn the lingo. Jim Sharp, you hear me? You got to learn the lingo. Vonda, Jerry Senior, come on. You got to know the lingo if you're going to talk the talk. Right, Mama?
Yeah.
So Heb,
I feel like that $1.34.
HEB, $1.34 sheet. I ain't going to never live that one down.
These are just about. I said, was that paper towel roll cost $200?
She's enjoying that. So even though, when we get home and I'm going through everything, I'm putting up the cheese. You got to do non-dairy cheese and regular cheese and all the stuff we have to do in our diets for our age. And so anyway, so I'm going through all that and I'm like, these Canyon, they're called Canyon. What are they called, Amy? You got a bag of them over there? There was a bag right there beside you. You put them up. You listen. Amy's just like her mama. You set something down, it gets put up. You set a glass half empty something down, it gets washed.
And the Hatch peppers are the best. They're kind of like Granger County.
But that ain't Boulder.
Oh, sorry.
And we also found these. Now, y'all, these are good for you. They're 505 Hatch green chili. They are. Listen to this. They are whole grain, non-GMO corn, non-GMO sunflower oil, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, vegan, and nut-free. And they are thank you, sweet doll. They are absolutely delicious. And they make a red chili one, too. And you talking about on nachos.
Hatch chilies. That's like Granger County.
Yeah, a Hatch chili. That's right.
Area.
That's a great analogy. Hatch chilies are like Granger County tomatoes. Okay, Hatch chilies are the deal, especially in New Mexico. But in Texas, that's Hatch. Come on now, enchilada sauce. Here you go. And then these Boulder Canyon. Can y'all see that? Let me back it up. These are olive oil and sea salt kettle style. Come on. Now, what I intended to order was. They have a barbecue called Canyon Cut, and it's like, I mean, it's that chips. It's 3/8, and it's not 3/8. It's quarter-inch thick. It really is, and barbecue. And the problem is, Amy can't have milk, so a lot like your Doritos and things like that, they have milk in them. This has none of that. This has. Listen to the ingredients: potatoes, olive oil, and sea salt. Period. Potatoes, olive oil, and sea salt. Now, I know these people are sponsors of the program, but they ought to be. I'm going to contact them. Anyway, Mama will. Starting Colorado. They're non-GMO, gluten-free certified. And if they're certified, that means they're good. Live Better, Eat Boulder. Our journey started in Boulder, Colorado in 1994 with the simple belief that better taste comes from better ingredients. So we use only select ingredients to craft our kettle-style potato chips in small batches. The result is a perfectly seasoned, crisp, that is crispy, crunchy, and bold, much like the outdoors that inspires us. Only quality ingredients. Olive oil brings a unique fruity flavor and adds a big crunch. Olive oil, sea salt, and potatoes. That's it. They're absolutely delicious, y'all. You gotta try them. So, and they're certified gluten-free, which means they spend the money for the testing, which is unusual. And they're not greasy. So anyway, so back to the story. So we get home. Come on, Jim. Preach, brother. Preach. Bring it. Sweat's gonna hit the socks in the pulpit today. Brother Jim Sharp said, as long as Amy and Dina are around, we shall speak correctly. Can I get an amen? Come on. I'm put that in capital letters. Amen, brother. I know Miss Dina and Tina. And it was, I meant to say, sorry for y'all's loss with Mr. Fred. But heaven gained a good one. Absolutely. For Dina and Tina and y'all, just had you on my heart. I just should have said something about that. I apologize. But so that being said, Boulder chips, Hatch chili, 505 Hatch chili, that's good stuff. Y'all can do that. So I get home and I'm putting everything up, and when you have a 10 cubic foot refrigerator in your travel trailer, and it's a good size, organization is the key. And when you're just, like Amy and I are, and so many of y'all can relate to this, when it's just y'all and the heathens is gone, and it's just y'all, and they're off doing their thing, and it's just us. If we buy it in bulk like we used to, because this took me forever to not cook for every boy in Gibbs, because our house was full of them, and that's fine. We'd rather have them there because we knew where ours were. We'd rather have them there than anywhere else. And I cook, I cook for them. But anyway, so when you buy a big thing of ground turkey, or you buy a big thing of ribs, or you buy a big thing or chicken, I have to divide that up. We have to divide that up. And one of the things you learn to do is when you put it in those freezer bags is to make it flat so you can get it in there. So I'm going through and I'm constantly reorganizing the refrigerator so we can get everything in there. Well, I get to looking. We didn't get our oat milk ice cream. That's a negatory. Not in there. I said, Amy, we didn't get our ice cream. She said, what? I said, we didn't get our ice cream. And I said, these 4 bags of Boulder Canyon chips, they're supposed to be barbecue. They're kettle chips, sea salt, and olive oil. And then I saw another bag. And that bag had a New York strip in it, a $10 grass-fed New York strip that I didn't order. I said, yeah, thank you, Jesus. And then it had 2 of those big blocks of mild cheddar, square blocks that I didn't order. And then it had a small can of canned biscuits, just like I used to eat them when I was in a hurry in the mornings going to school. Mama would have them when she was. She made real biscuits most of the time, but sometimes she was tired. She just put them out there. Little can of them, and I ain't had biscuits. And I'd bought me some hot sausage from H-E-B and some sage, good sage sausage. I ain't had that in a while. I'm going to mix that hot and that sage together, patty that out, put it on them biscuits. Then I go back to eating tortillas, but I like a biscuit every once in a while. And what else? And then there was a market side thing about this big a spinach dip. Spinach and avocado and sour cream and mayonnaise and onion. Green onion. Delicious. So I picked up the phone and I called Walmart. And I told the young lady that answered, I said, I need someone in grocery pickup. I've got an error in my order. She said, okay, hold on. So the girl answers and she says, hola. I said, hello? She said, do you speak Spanish? And I said, no, ma'am, I do not. She said, hold on. So then the young man come on there and I explained to him, I said, look, we just picked up 2 orders. We didn't, and I'd looked at the orders, and I cannot blame the barbecue chips on the Walmart folks because I ordered kettle chips, sea salt. I hit the wrong button. That one's on me. I take it. The ice cream went to somebody else, and then I got their steak, their 2 blocks of cheese, their avocado spinach dip, and their biscuits. So I told him, I said, look, I got these items, and they're not mine, so I wanted to call and let y'all know. Obviously, I'm not going to drive 30 minutes back to Walmart, and obviously you couldn't take them back if I did. For all you know, I'm some heathen that, injected something in it and going to put it back on the shelf. So I know you can't take them back. That's fine. I said, but I wanted you to know so when that next person calls in, you'll know that they're telling the truth. And I said, and I didn't get my ice cream. He said, well, I can't do anything about what you got. You just keep that. I said, okay. He said, but I'll be aware of it when they call. He said, now, would you like a credit on the ice cream? And I said, no. That's $5 of ice cream, and I got about $20 worth of stuff. We even. But I just wanted you to know. He said, well, let me know. I said, okay. So, just so you know, I made it right. My conscience is clean. I'm good to go. And like I said, we tip them. Varies store to store. You can ask them because sometimes you don't want to get them in trouble, but that's true. So that was our Walmart experience, and that's why we did what's that when I was going to purchase the sheets of paper towels. She didn't hear me. She's looking at the phone. She's working on it.
When we went to purchase those sheets of paper towels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got corrected on that. So, all right, we're running a little over, but that's okay because we got time, and that's the beauty of podcasting. We can say what we want what we say. Tell you how it is. If we want to run a little longer, we can run a little longer. If we need to run a little shorter, we can run a little shorter. We can do that. Sorry for my bad habit, but that's the only vice I got left. All the rest of them are gone. Clean living. All right, here we go. Tankless versus tanked water heater. Now, like I said, Junior called me and he said, "Hey, Rick, I need you to talk to me about this. What's out there? What's available?" So basically, the question is, and this is an article that I pulled out of my show prep from. Let me see if I want to give credit where credit's due. Hang on, let's see if I got it on there. I honestly, I believe it's from Granger, or it's from MSN. I don't remember, but yeah, it's not on here. But so this, along with my own thoughts in here as to what to do and what not to do. Here's the deal. It only takes one surprise cold water blast from your shower to appreciate the luxury that is on-demand hot water. A failing water heater can not only make for rude awakenings at home, but it can also slow facility operations that require hot water for cooking, cleaning, sanitizing, among other things. When it's time to replace your legacy water heater, which is a tanked water heater, or moved, the first question you may consider is whether to stay with a traditional storage tank water heater, which a lot of us have or have had, or move to a tankless heater. And with any major equipment decision, there are pros and cons to each choice. What is a tankless water heater? Now, tankless or on-demand water heater simply means this, and I'm not going to read all this stuff to you. However, I found this to be interesting. The Department of Energy, you know, you have one right there in East Tennessee. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, tankless water heaters are gaining popularity. They are, and they will, and they should. They're not new. Now listen to this. This is interesting. Patent application for continuous flow water heaters was filed in the U.S. in the late 1920s. Tankless water heaters and continuous flow water heaters were filed for a patent in the late 1920s. That's hard to wrap your mind around. That doesn't make sense. But with heightened awareness of energy consumption and sustainability, they're receiving more attention. Tankless water heaters do not hold water. Cold water flows into the unit and is heated only when needed. This can save energy two ways. No need to heat gallons of water that aren't being used. So think about this. You've got an 80-gallon water heater, a 40-gallon water heater, a 50-gallon water heater, whatever size you got. That water heater fills up. Nothing like a good swallow from fresh tobacco. Woo, that'll give you chills. That kills the worms, though. There's a story with that, too. I might tell you sometime. Anyway. That's your country saying. So what happens is, you've got a water heater in your house, and it's got 80 gallons in it, or 60 gallons, or 50, or whatever it is, 40, whatever that make them now. That water heater, whatever it's set on, let's say it's 120 degrees, is maintaining a temperature of 120 degrees 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, which means that it is spinning that little meter on the outside of your house that doesn't have a wheel and spin anymore, that has a digital readout on it, which means you're paying to maintain that water that you're not using just so when you turn it on, it's hot. That is not efficient. The first thing that we did with water heaters is, when we wasn't using tankless water heaters, even though the patent came out in the late 20s, the first thing we did was we said, well, let's put a timer on it, which makes sense. The timer comes on half an hour or an hour before everybody's going to take their showers. You're going to wash dishes. You're going to wash clothes, whatever you're going to do. It stays on until it cuts off. When you're done doing all that, it cuts off. It doesn't do that. There's no sense in heating hot water all through the night that you're not going to use till the next morning. You get up, take a shower, to go to work, or wash clothes, or cook breakfast, or wash dishes, whatever you're going to do. That helps. They're about $60, 65. Well, they used to be. They're probably $75, $80 now. So that's the first thing that you do. The second thing is that works okay. Saves some money. Now we've got this whole thing about constant force, on demand, tankless hot water heater. Works like a radiator in your car, sort of. There's coils inside there. There's a water inlet. When you turn the hot water on, that water begins to move, which triggers a thermostat, which turns on typically. You can do them electric, but propane or natural gas is more efficient. It immediately heats those tubes, and as that water makes its way through the tubes, it heats it to whatever the desired temperature is, and then with whatever cold water's left in the pipe till it gets to you, which there's a whole thing about looping and all that we can get in when we have a plumber on the show, because that's above my pay grade. But you have instant hot water, and you have hot water as long as you don't run out of propane or natural gas, and as long as you have water going through it. And that's if you want to take a 5-minute shower or a 5-hour shower. Now, let me tell you something. When you go on the road and you take your significant other, your lovely bride, or with you, a 6-gallon water heater does not work for mama. Okay? She can't do girl things with 6 gallons. Most people use about 2 gallons in the morning to take a shower. Unless you're a teenager. Then you use 473 gallons. While you sit there and go, okay. Or if you're a man of larger persuasion like myself, it takes a little more than 2 gallons to wash Ricky. Good. So, I should have done that day one. If you're going to purchase an RV while you got the money to do it, have them put one in if it ain't got one in. Rick, how much do they cost? About $800 for one that's installed and permanent and in there. Now, you can buy them like a Camp Lux. If you're building out a cargo trailer or a van or something like that, you can buy those for about $200 or less. Or you can buy one that you hang on the outside and put a portable shower around it, and boom, you shower outside. We have an outside shower we use. Amy uses it a lot. I don't use it much because I have to walk out there and do all that, and that's hard on me. But if we're at the beach, I'll utilize it for that because it's good for that as well. But that being said, it is awesome for that. You can do it inexpensively. You can do it more expensively in your home. Same thing. They were used to be about $3,000, $4,000. I think the last time I checked, they were around $2,000. They probably come down from that. Now, in your house, it has to be on what's called a loop, so that water's circulating. So that if you've got an 80-foot long rancher in West Knoxville, or East Texas or Dallas or wherever you may be, or California or Washington State or New Jersey, wherever you're listening to us at, that we have listeners, Bob and Brian, Tom and Nate and Mary and all those folks that we have out there, and Vonda and Jerry and Miss Carolyn. That way you don't have to push all that water through and waste it. That's a different system. That's more expensive, but you can do them in both. I would recommend it. I would recommend it. Depending on how often you camp, depending on however many people, it has to be sized for the number of people in your house. If you have a permanent sticks and bricks house, it has to be done that way. You need to have a good plumber like our friend Will. It's good at All Clear Plumbing. in East Tennessee. While they can't run out of hot water, tankless water heaters still need to be sized correctly. If there's demand for more hot water than the unit can supply at any one time because of a shower, a dishwasher, a washing machine, without an internal heating element, or all running simultaneously, for example, the water won't get hot enough. This is the thing. Now, let me tell you something about one that you put in your RV, okay? I don't know. I've never had one in the house, so I don't know. But what I can tell you is an RV, travel trailer, cargo trailer, pop-up camper, whatever you're using. The way that you operate one in that application is you turn the hot on wide open, as high as it'll go. Okay. You have a digital display. You set the temperature for the temperature that you want. We can set ours for different temperatures and all that kind of stuff. We ain't never figured that out. It has a maximum temperature of 124 degrees. Amy would set it at 160 if she could, because she's washed dishes her whole life and cooked in the kitchen, and her hands are impervious to hot water. Me, I'm kind of tender. I like about 115, 117. If you turn that all the way on, what I do is I'll add just a little cold water. That's okay. But if you turn it on and try to mix it with, you have to have the hot water on full, period. If you try to turn the hot water on and turn the cold up, it will get cold and you will not be satisfied. Hot water all the way on. Adjust the temperature on the thermostat to the right setting, and you should never have to touch the cold. If you need to add a little cold, you can. That works. But that's how you do it, especially in a camper. Consider what's running at the same time. If you do RV living or camper living, you need to know that you can't run everything at once. You can't. If I'm going to run the microwave, I got to turn the fireplace off if it's running heat. If I'm running the air conditioner and I've got the separate air conditioner that has a separate circuit. And let me tell you something. If you add anything to your RV, infrared heaters, all these things they tell us not to do, you can't add that to your existing RV system. That has to be added on a separate circuit, separate power source with appropriate electrical connections by a licensed electrician. That's what you do. Okay? And our fireplace, and I don't know why they do this in RVs, drives me crazy. Our fireplace is on the same, our infrared fireplace, which in infrared fireplaces in houses are 1,500 watts and 750 watts, depending on the setting, low or high. In an RV, it's 750 watts or 1,350 watts, not 1,500. If you don't pay attention to that, you'll wake up on fire and you better move quick, because when the RV goes up, it goes up quick. It's like tinder. Okay. So be sure and do that. So if I've got the heat on in my infrared fireplace and I turn the microwave on, it kicks the breaker. You can only do one at a time. That's just the way it is. That's stupid, but it's the way it is. They don't do it the way they should. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. To size a tankless water heater, look at the maximum flow rate. This is the amount of heated water in gallons per minute, GPM, that a unit can deliver. Make sure that your unit can supply enough hot water for peak demand when multiple fixtures or appliances are used at the same time. Estimated. Standard showers use 2.5 gallons per minute in your home. RVs are set differently. Low flow shower heads are 2 gallons per minute or less. Kitchen faucets, 1.8 to 2.2 gallons per minute. Bathroom faucets, half a gallon to a gallon and a half per minute. These are good estimates. Two basic kinds, electric and gas. Both are available in tankless or tanked water heaters. Things you want to look at when choosing one. We have a Furrion tankless water heater in our RV travel trailer, and we've been very pleased with it. All the appliances are in here are Furrion. We've been very pleased with it. They're good. Upfront costs. Your long-term cost. Look at the Department of Energy's comparison, kind of like Energy Star when you look at a new appliance. If you're dealing with an emergency replacement of a failed water heater, a survey by the Northwest Energy Efficiency Alliance found 37% of residents replacing a heater did so because of sudden failure. The change could be quicker by keeping the same type of water heater. Something to think about. Speed of hot water delivery. Tankless heaters typically require about 15 seconds to get water up to the temperature desired, while a fully heated storage tank can deliver hot water instantly, keeping in mind that in either case, the hot water will need time to travel through the pipes to get to where you're going. But remember, a tankless water heater is heating that water as it comes through those tubes, and it stays heated. You've got 80 gallons, 50 gallons, 40 gallons to deal with, and it takes it a while to heat that back up once you utilize that. Power outage. Finally, know that a power outage is likely to leave a tankless water heater users without hot water. Even gas-powered tankless heaters need an electronic control panel. Something to think about. Those are the basics of tankless hot water heaters. You say, Rick, what do I use in my house? There's two dominant brands when I was building houses. One is a Rinnai, which is kind of the granddaddy of them. Rinnai, R-E-N-A-I, takes a certified plumber to utilize that in Rinnai. The other one that we had very good success with when we were building was Takagi, T-A-K-A-G-I, Takagi. In tankless water heaters, the only ones I've had experience with have been the Furrion system, which I'm very happy with. Now, here's something else that you need to be aware of. If you are using a tankless water heater in your travel trailer / RV / camper, that typically is in a storage compartment underneath your bed or in your front storage hold on your RV. That space is cold. One of the things you want to ask, and Furrion has this, I'm not sure if it's on every model or just some models, but your Furrion water heater has a system on it where we hear this during the night. When it gets below a certain temperature, that water heater will kick on and heat the pipes in itself and warm that water on and off all during the night to stop it from freezing and bursting. Because if it freezes those pipes and bursts it, it's ruined. That's not a repair, that's a replacement. And if you just spend $1,000 to get that done, you don't want to have to do that again. Make sure it has that feature on it to keep it from freezing. That is very, very, very important. Plus, you need a heated hose with any campground that you go to. Just use it. The new one I have has just a heat strip on it instead of that big old bulky thing that I had. That's so hard to roll up and down that it's difficult for me to do now. We utilize the new one and it works great, and they're about the same money. So you can utilize that. Hi, Miss Haley. It's good to see you, honey. Tell your mom and daddy we said hi, and your brothers. It's good to see you. So those are all important things when we talk about using hot water and utilizing those systems. The other one that I hear good things about, which is a portable unit. And if you're using a gas unit, which 99% of them are, 95% of them are, you want to make sure that it's vented properly. Because carbon monoxide ain't no joke. You wake up dead. And Jesus said you should have vented that better. Let somebody licensed do it. Those are not things to play with. Let somebody licensed do it. They know what they're doing. There's a reason for it. So that being said, Camplux, C-A-M-P-L-U-X, is a brand that I have seen good reviews on. And these are anywhere from $150 to about $300. And you can actually take them and set them outside. If you're camping in a tent, you can set them outside on a post, on a fence, on the back of the truck, put a shower curtain around it. You can buy the portable shower curtain things that have a hook in there for you to use them with the door that closes, or you can do like the rest of us and take you some 3/4 inch PVC and make you connect it together and make you a shower stall, whatever size you want. If you want a tub in the bottom of it to stand on, or do like most folks do and have a wood rack to stand on, or teak wood or something like that, or patio stones, whatever you need, just to get your feet up and going. Ruby Cross, good to see you, hun. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning as we finish up. So that being said, those things are important. Those are some tips for you. Be sure and see us during the week. If you want to reach me during the week, the best way to do that is to send me an email at Rick's, R-I-C-K-S, house, H-O-U-S-E, radio, R-A-D-I-O, at gmail.com. And if there's something you want me to talk about or address, or you have a question about a project you're doing, we're glad to do that. We can take phone calls, and I can open that up, when the show starts. Folks don't call like they used to on any radio program unless it's sports, to hear themselves tell you about, how they do it different and why Josh Hoppa will be fired, which I don't agree with. But anyway, all that being said, send me an email, reach out to me. That's the best way. That's the way you'll get me for sure, is by sending me an email, rickshouseradio@gmail.com. We're glad to help you. We'd like to make a recommendation. If there's somebody out there that we need to know about that's done a good job for you, I want to know about them. I want to talk to them. I want to be able to say, yeah, this is a good company. They helped John. They helped Paul. They helped Mary. They helped whoever. And Peter, Paul, Mary. You have to get that out there. So thank you for allowing us to come into your homes on Saturday mornings and spend this time. By the way, before we go, I did a little shopping. I told you about 50% off birds, chickens, ducks, and turkeys at Tractor Supply. That's today at locations all over. And also, Ollie's is really coming on strong in locations all over. And right now, they've got some really good buys, and I wanted to share those with you. And this is nationwide. I checked it in Odessa, and I checked it at Knoxville Center Mall, which is no longer in existence, back home in East Tennessee in Knoxville, and they have it too. They have Toshiba air conditioners right now, 5,000 BT units for $149. They have portable units that roll around on rollers, which is what we use in our travel trailer because we don't want an air conditioner sticking out the window and blocking our view. And they have those for 12,000 BTUs for $289. Folks, that's half price. That is a deal. And a Toshiba is a great product. You're going to get good service out of it. They also have Vornado, VORNADO fans, which are high velocity fans starting at $17.99. We need one of those for the bedroom, mama. That work outstanding, and they produce a ton of wind around them. And also a gravity chair. Now, we use gravity chairs outside, and Amy gets the heavy-duty ones for me. She gets the lighter ones for her, and those are typically around $100. They've got 300-pound weight capacity gravity chairs right now at Ollie's at a location near you, and they're not a sponsor of this program, nor is Tractor Supply. They should be, for $59. That's a deal. And lastly, but not least, 27-gallon totes, the black ones with yellow lids at Ollie's, $7.99. You can't buy them at the dollar store for less than $20. Ma'am.
That's really not a deal on those chairs because you can go to Amazon, you can buy two for $99.
You made me look bad.
Huh?
You made me look bad.
Well, I'm the one that shops for them, so I know.
Corrected by the chief woman in charge.
Just for the listeners out there.
Just for the listeners. Don't question mama. You hear me, Jerry? Jim Sharp, you hearing me? Miss Ruby, we wouldn't question you, honey. We're going to go whatever you say. God bless you. I love you. Amy loves you. We appreciate you. Send us a sponsor, somebody that helps us keep doing what we're doing. Thanks for watching us. Hope you're enjoying the videos. Amy's took all that over, does a great job with the social media. She's bringing it to my attention so that I can make sure I respond. I'm trying to get better about that as quickly as I can. And thank you for being a part of what we do each and every Saturday morning here on the podcast. Look forward to talking to you during the week. Going to have to do a separate one for Spotify, and we're working on that this week. Finally, I got my RSS feed and got that ready to go. So we'll do a specific show, probably for nationwide. And then this show is a little more geared toward back home. And I don't know I have to do the show, and I can't do it live on Spotify and then upload it. So you can look for that too, and it'll be similar topics, but different, a little bit different. So God bless you. Thank you so much for being with me each and every Saturday morning and letting me spend time with you. And there's a biscuit in my future this morning, because it is what makes Ricky happy to eat once every 6 months. See our sponsors: GFL, Permachink, Knox-Rail Salvage, All Clear Plumbing, Top Septic, and so many more. Thank you so much for being a part of what we do. And we will see you next Saturday with a new topic, new questions, and new stuff. It's been Rick's House. We love you. Take care.